Hello students, welcome back to this channel Emerald Guidance Educational. So in today's video I am going to discuss what is the right time to start preparing for IIT JEE NEET. Is it class 9th, is it class 10th, or 2-year preparation in class 11th and 12th is sufficient? Now many students remain confused what is the right time to start preparing for JEE NEET, etc. Students, according to my experience, I would say if you are targeting top IITs, top 7 IITs like IIT Mumbai, IIT Chennai, IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, I am talking about top 7 IITs. And if you want to get into top medical colleges in India like AIIMS, so I think it is very good if you start preparing in class 9 and at least in class 10. So even if you start preparing in class 10 with some basic things like basic mathematical tools that will be required in class 11, I think it will do a world of good for your preparation if you are targeting IIT JEE and top institutes like AIIMS. Now you don't need to study books of class 11th and 12th while you are in class 10. You can just go with your own syllabus of class 10, whether you are a student of CBSE or any other state board. You can just start preparing with some basic mathematical requirement. For example, the moment you move to class 11, you will find that most of the students find physics a difficult subject. Simple reason is the mathematics that is applied in physics. Right from the chapter 2 in physics, we will be using calculus like differentiation, integration, vectors, etc. And initially you will find it difficult simply because you don't have this mathematical knowledge. Most of the time you will find that the syllabus of mathematics syllabus of calculus will be studied at the end of the class 11 and some part will be studied in class 12. But in physics, right from chapter 2, you will require to understand the applications of calculus like differentiation, integration, vectors, limit continuities, graphs, etc. So it is always a good idea if you can start with your preparations in class 10 with some basic mathematical tools. Now what are the basic mathematical tools I am talking about, and what is the requirement? Is there any pre-requirement to start learning these mathematical tools? I think if you are in class 10 and if you have completed the chapters of trigonometry and coordinate geometry, then it is sufficient to start basic knowledge of calculus. You can start with functions, then move on to limits and continuity, then basics of differentiation, integration, and then you can understand the basics of vectors and how to apply these mathematical tools in physics and why we are using calculus in physics. For example, in kinematics, in class 9th and 10th, you have been using the equations V equal to U plus AT, S equal to UT plus half AT square, etc. But in class 11 in kinematics, you will find that you are using calculus. So why you are using calculus? To solve the equations of motion, or for understanding kinematics, we will be using vectors as well as calculus. So what is the necessity, or why we are using calculus? That is very important. You understand why of calculus or why of those mathematical tools that will be utilized in class 11 physics. So I think if you start with these basic things in class 10 while you are preparing for your CBSE or ICSE or state board examination, alongside if you can start preparing for these mathematical tools, then you will be quite ahead. Otherwise you might end up losing 6 months of class 11. Most of the time we have seen that students, when they move to class 11, they struggle in physics and other subjects as well, simply because they do not have good knowledge of these mathematical tools. As I said, you will study these mathematics at the end of class 11th or starting of class 12, or in your class 12 syllabus some part of calculus will be learned. But physics cannot wait for such a long time and you need to have basic idea. So I think it is a good idea if you start with a bridge course in mathematics. I have written a book called Bridge Course in Mathematical Physics, which is available on Flipkart and Amazon. You can buy that particular book. It will be very useful for those students who are in class 10 and want to learn basics of calculus. And that in fact there are very few books available in the market which is written on this topic, like when a student moves in to class 11 from class 10 and they require some mathematical knowledge to learn physics. So if you develop these basic mathematical knowledge, it will be very useful, and that will be sufficient if you are targeting top IITs. So then you move into class 11th and you are going for a 2-year strong preparation. I think still you can crack IIT, you can still reach AIIMS, but for that I think you should start in class 10. Another reason is the competition these days is very tough. in 2021 NEET examination, more than 12 lakh students applied for NEET. And how many seats are there in government colleges? Around 44,000. And similarly, when we talk about JEE Mains Advanced, the number of seats in central government colleges like IITs, NITs, IITs, CFTIs or premier institutes of engineering, hardly around 35 to 37,000 seats are present. So number of candidates will be around close to 9 lakhs. So the competition is really steep. So it is always a great idea if you start preparing in class 9 or 10. So even if you have not done any preparation in class 9, it is not a bad idea at all to start. I think you should start preparing in class 10 with some basic mathematical tools. You can talk with your or discuss with your teacher, your coaching institute, your school teacher, maybe your private tutor, whoever you are associated with. You can tell the teachers to start preparing you for those mathematical skills, which will be very, very useful in class 11. So thank you students. I hope this video is useful for you. I will keep on posting this video on regular basis on this particular channel, Emerald Guidance Educational. Please subscribe to this particular channel to know more information regarding preparation of JEE NEET, and I will also be bringing information regarding new careers in the field of science and technology. So next video will be based on careers in artificial intelligence and what are who are those institutes which are preparing you for, and what are those courses available in artificial intelligence or related areas in India. Okay, so for the next video, just watch out, and thank you for being in this video. Thank you very much. See you next time.